Hello, my savage money making queens, my disruptors in business. I'm so happy that you're here. First off, welcome to the community, Disruptive and Rich, where we build disruptive legacies over in my world. So I really wanted to bring this community forward to you. And this is what I want to kick this community off with is the $10,000 months disruptive edition because there's so much bullshit in the coaching space. Yeah, there is. This is not the same BS that you've heard 100 other times from 100 different coaches. This is built for disruptors, for you. This is not built for followers. It's not, okay? And I'm going to kick this off very strong because I really want you to lean in here, right? And so I'm going to go over a couple of things with you first, and then we're going to get into my Savage Money model that I have designed to scale you to $10,000 months. We will get into that in just a moment. So I am bringing back real business for real disruptive women, for the women who aren't here to just build a tiny little business. They're not just here to build a little tiny social media business. They're here to take names. They're sharks in the game, right? You, Miss Girl, I want you to look at who the F you are. And I need you to snap into her because you're not just here to build a little business, you're here to build this disruptive legacy. You're here to completely dominate your industry, your business, and your future. It is so much brighter than you can even imagine right now. However, you are not going to get there by following the rules, following the blueprints. While there are business foundations to master, there's a lot of following going around, a lot of rules going around that I've never heard of in my years of business until I got into this online space 2 years ago. Real quick, I've been a business owner since the age of 24. Grit, grind, hustle, no loans, no support. Started my very first business actually at the age of 24 after I finished up a 4-year career in social work where I was a counselor. When I decided that wasn't for me, I went back bartending and I was like, holy shit, I can't work for somebody for the rest of my life. I can't be behind this bar for the rest of my life. And I'm damn sure not going through college again. Maybe sometime in the future, I don't fucking know, but not right now. And I was like, what can I do at 24 years old besides going back to college and besides sitting in this bar? And I'm definitely not working a fucking 9 to 5. And so that's when my mobile bar idea came to my head and I brought it to life like this. I networked. I was in the trenches, man. I didn't know anything about building business. I didn't have a business background. I had a social work degree. I didn't have support. I didn't have loans. It was me, myself, and me busting my ass. I took that mobile bartending business with a little to nothing on capital. I'm talking maybe like $600 that I'd made in like a couple of previous bartending shifts. And I scaled that to a point within 6 months that at the age of 25, I was able to go open my very first bar. Now, I'm not going to give you my whole timeline here. I'm going to rush through this real quick. Long story short, at the age of 25, I opened up my first bar. At the age of 27, I opened up my second bar. Also, at the age of 27, after 6 months of opening that, I changed my entire life. Not because my business was failing, not because I didn't know what I was doing. I was actually doing really good. I was profiting about $16,000 a month in that business and for a bar that's really fucking good. Okay, if you know anything about the bar and restaurant industry. Now, in between those, I had other brick and mortar businesses, right? I had a small boutique at one point. I had some investment opportunities. And so I was no stranger when starting this business, my coaching business, business coaching business. I was no stranger to the business game. I've been a shark in the game since the age of 24. I'll be 30 in October, dirty 30. Why am I telling you this? Because there's a lot of bullshit going around. Anybody's claiming to be a business coach, anybody claiming that they can help you do XYZ, but they don't have real business experience. And I can tell. A lot of people can tell. And I have clients come to me and they've already spent tens of thousands of dollars with other business coaches and results couldn't find them because the business coaching and what I've seen in the last 2 years has became a place for regurgitated bullshit. Follow this blueprint. Do things this way, show up this way, sell this, say that. Blah, blah, blah. There's no grit into it anymore. There's no actual strategies being tailored client to client. It's people slapping on a big ass price tag, claiming these big ass results and that they can help you to, in fact, make them. People get in. I know I've been in them. I'm not a victim here though, but just sharing some of my experience. I'm like, what in the hell did I just pay $25,000, $30,000 for? I was paying it for this. I was looking at it for a second. Hold up. For the how and waiting for it to happen. That's what a lot of these are, right? But I just wanted to kind of give that. So going into this, you know that I am not the coach for anybody who's just kind of dibble dabbling around like, oh, I want a little side hustle or I want a little Instagram business. I'm sure there's somebody out there for you, but that's not me. Okay. Because over here, we build real businesses with real business strategies. No matter where you're at, you may be in the deep trenches right now in the very beginning stages of your business, or you may have already be scaling. But real business strategies grows a real business. Okay. And that's where my Savage Money model has come from. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But I want to talk to you about this real quick. I need you to lean in. Your business that you've built, that you have started, regardless of where it's at right now, it's single handedly the best thing, probably the scariest thing that you've ever done. But business does not feel good every day. The internet has brainwashed you into believing that you're just supposed to be this really feel good, like really feminine, soft, just like, oh, happy go lucky all the time. That business is just champagne showers and rainbows and butterflies. While it gets to be really effing fun, you get to build your life and go through this journey of self-development and learning new things about yourself while also like stepping into the best version of yourself and building this business to be able to live this huge dream that you lay awake at night and think about. It's coming to you, but you're not going to feel good every single day doing this. And if this scares you away, you're not meant to be here. Okay. I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm not here to paint you a false dream, some fucking fairy tale land in your head. But I know that 99% of you, at least watching this, know that business isn't going to feel good every day. That is going to be hard. That you're going to, come up with these roadblocks and stuff like that. And the thing is about scaling a business and building a business. It's not about doing more to where you're burning yourself out. It's about working hard, doing the right things. And that's where my Savage Money model comes in. Okay. Now, before we get into that, a lot of people, a lot of business coaches, honestly, it's about letting go and forget the how and just step into your power and just be this boss, feminine, soft bitch. And it's all going to work out for you. Forget the how, forget the strategies, forget the practicalities. That is bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. You'll be 100 times happier in your business if you had steps, action plans tailored to you, clarity, and the effing how, the strategies, the where you're going, what it looks like. How do I actually make 10, 20, $30,000? How do I actually market myself? How do I actually build offers that sell? How do I actually start making recurring income and stacking that month to month to month? How do I actually build a long-term sustainable business and continue to scale it without the hustle, without the burnout? And when I say without the hustle, what I mean, because I am a hustler and I know you are too. I'm talking about aligned hustle and not getting in this hustle mentality to where you're hustling around in circles, right? There's a right hustle and there's a wrong hustle. I've been on both ends of them. Now I'm in the aligned hustle, but I used to be in this hustle where I was just working hard. I was addicted to the hard work, but I wasn't addicted to the results. And so my hustle and my grinding, it wasn't aligned with my life. It wasn't aligned with my businesses. It was just a bunch of busy work. And while I was making money, I was also wearing myself thin. And we don't want that. Okay. So aligned hustle, aligned action, steps, clarity, the fucking how. Just feel good and just let it happen is the most BS business advice I've ever heard. That ends here. That ends today. I've been speaking this truth since I started posting online at the end of August 2023 when I started this business. And now I'm bringing even more attention to it, which is exactly why I've created this community, Disruptive and Rich. We are disrupting the industry, the business industry, whatever your business is. I'm not just talking about business coaches. Fun fact, I only work with 2 business coaches currently in my containers right now, and they've been with me for a little over a year. I work with all different types of coaches, all different types of business owners, product based, service based. I'm going to go over service based and product based on my Savage Money model. So I don't want you to think that this is just for coaches. Okay. I'm not a business coach that teaches a business coach how to be a business coach. I am a business coach for women entrepreneurs who are sharks in the game, who are resilient, who are determined, who is here to make a name for herself, change her life, and change the lives of many others that she started this business to serve. Product based and service based. Okay. Business does not have rules. That's been going around too. And I know right now you have probably found yourself trapped in a cage, like with these 4 walls. And at some point, you're starting to think, fuck, I started this business to feel like I'm like working a glorified 9 to 5. Like, where did all these rules and regulations come from? Okay. Business doesn't have rules, but it does have skills and foundations that have to be mastered, a non-negotiable to scale your business to $10,000 minimum months and it work like a well-oiled machine so we can scale that. $10,000 months, they're the baseline. When you start hitting $10,000 months in your business, you have your foundations mastered. This right here, scaling to your first 6 figures cash. So your first $10,000 recurring months cash. I'm talking about every month, you're starting off with $10,000. Okay. We'll get into that in a minute. But $10,000 months is the baseline. Once you have those, you have mastered your business foundations. It's a lot of messy work. It's a lot of hands-on support, right? All coaching that I do with my clients, whether they're scaling to 10K months or beyond, $20,000 and $30,000 months, I do hands-on support. I'm not just, being my vibe and being my energy, but this right here is where you're really in the trenches. You're learning new skills. You're a solopreneur, right? It's like a one-man team right now. Some of you may have your partners or something like that. But overall, for most of us, it's a one-man team. I don't have any team members. It's me. I've scaled this business to multi 6 figures in literally 2 years, but I hit multi 6 figures cash within that first year. We're going to get into that in a minute. But you're doing a lot. You're in the trenches. You're learning how to market, how to create content, how to show up on social media, how to stay in your power, right? How to become audacious, how to become bold, how to master social media, how to create offers that are actually priced and structured and created to scale you to $10,000 months. How to automate your sales systems, like all of the things that require the business foundations, which I'm about to show you. Okay. So most people try to follow a blueprint, and that's why most people fail because every business is different. Your foundation, your business, right? It's unique to you, your brand, your tone, your personality, your vision, your goals, your audience, your offers. There's no one size fits all. And that's why one size fits all blueprints don't work. Oh, here, follow my proven blueprint formula. Now, while I am going to take you through my money model, it's designed for me to be able to come in and work with my clients and tailor each of them with hands-on support. Even though we're mastering the foundations, part of your foundations is building a brand. Your brand's not going to look the same as mine, right? It's you building offers. Your offers aren't going to look the same as mine. You might not want to do one-on-one coaching, or you might have a t-shirt business, right? So just following one proven blueprint doesn't work. That's why, my clients come in, they get the tailored support and they start seeing results very quick. Okay. And I want to show you this, and then we're going to jump into this, and I want you to really lean in here. Okay. This is a recent with one of my clients from $3,000 in 4 months. When she hired me, that was her total revenue in 4 months was $3,000. She's been in business a year. She now makes $3,000 a week right here. She sent me her Stripe payout, and this is what she made in a week. And now they're consistent. Okay, they are consistent. This was in June or July, July. Her $3,000 weeks have been consistent literally every single week since she sent me this message. And they're consistent, and it's predictable that they're going to continue to be consistent because this is recurring income. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Well, actually right here, So she's a mindset and a life coach as a single mom of two, and she does not offer any type of one-on-one coaching. Okay. So the model and the structure of her business, it's hybrid. Okay. So she does group coaching in a membership and she has a signature passive course. Okay. So she's not doing any one-on-one work, but she does two times a month group calls inside of her membership. That's one-to-many offers. Okay. And then she has her signature offer where she has the ultimate transformation that she takes her clients through packaged up into a course that now sells on repeat. Okay. So the recurring income is coming from this membership, but we have this funneled in a way for people to come in and then go into her course, right? And we've got other streams of income, revenue building up without her ever doing any one-on-one work. Okay. And by the way, this client hired me 5 months ago. Okay. So from 3K in 4 months to 3K a week. This was done 5 months after hiring me. Her audience size, 1,100 on TikTok, 400 on Instagram, and less than 80 on her email list. To just go ahead and break that little belief that you have right there about you need more followers, you need more views, you need a huge audience to make money. No, the fuck you don't. Okay. So the three biggest problems that she came to me with was offer creation and offer creation and scalability, content marketing, okay, and then sales. So what we shifted, sales. Before they were inconsistent. Obviously, they were scattered around. There was actually no system that she was following through. So what we did was we created her and shifted her into a repeatable sales process. It focused on scaling her membership and her signature course. Okay. So no sales calls, no one-on-one work, no chasing. Instead, she now has a sales ecosystem with clear entry points, low ticket leads into her membership upsells into her signature course. We've got downsell and upsell flows for both of these. So no money is ever left on the table. No profits are leaking out. Okay. So this created predictable recurring income instead of starting every month off over at zero, over at scratch, always like digging around, like just like shoveling around, trying to find people to buy her course, you know? So that's what this does. This also involved DM conversions. So what I mean by DM conversions is when somebody DMs you, how many of you, real quick, show of hands, is in like this little awkward phase in your DMs? Because baby, I was there. Anytime somebody messaged me about my DMs, I got really like, scared. I was gonna say my asshole tightened up, but I try to be, if you're not new into my world, it's you already know. Okay. But to make that a little less vulgar, I guess. I would literally be scared shitless when somebody would DM me because I'm like, how do I respond to this? It was always awkward at the beginning. I was going on and on. I was like sending them like over explaining my offers too much or going way too much into detail and overwhelming somebody, a potential client in the DMs, and they ghosted me. That happened so many times in the beginning. So what this DM conversions, really knowing how to lead a conversation in the DMs into a sales without ever having to get on a sales call, without ever having to convince anybody, without ever having any objections. Okay. So closing in the DMs. And then we also did back end nurturing and automations. So email marketing, visibility, lead gens, all of those things. And then obviously upsell and downsell flows. Now, offer creation and scalability. We created her offer suite for scalability, not busy work. So like I said, single mom of two. She didn't want a business model or her business structured to where she didn't have any free time. Okay. And I'm not talking about like just a few hours here and there. She wanted a really fucking open calendar. And that's exactly what we created her offer suite for. Scalability, not busy work, for her to have a complete open calendar to be able to stay home with her kids. Right. So her goal was when she hired me to take her kids out of daycare. She's got two young ones. Um, and be able to, just enjoy life with them. Right. She was working from home half the time she was working like on their physical their actual building, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the actual workplace. And now she's just full-time in her business and she gets to, like I said, live time with her kids, not have to send them to daycare, take them on trips, take them during the day, not just be a present mom was the biggest thing that she wanted. And so that meant creating her offer suite to align with this lifestyle she wanted to live. And so we created her one signature offer. It's her passive course that solved one big effing problem and put an ultimate transformation in it. Okay. And then building her membership as a recurring revenue stream to support on top of the course, because the course doesn't have recurring revenue coming in. Okay. So this gave her a clear path to grow without adding any one-on-one work and while setting her business up to scale. Last one right here. Content marketing. We created content that positioned her as the only expert in her industry for her dream client. That's a big one that a lot of people miss. This comes along with positioning. That's why I've got position underlined here. Okay. That's one of the second parts to actually mastering your business foundations, because you have to position yourself, build a brand before you can create the content marketing. So she had already had pretty well positioned. So we really brought that into our marketing. We positioned her as, hey, I'm the only one that does it the way that I do it. This is why you should choose my membership or my course over all of the other ones out here, all out of all the other mindset courses and memberships, all those things, right? So every post spoke clearly to her audience's current struggles, as well as their deepest desires on where they wanted to be. Two, who they actually wanted to become. So the tangible, the intangible, what their life's going to look like, what they're going to feel like, their ultimate transformation. We also showcased her unique methods. So it became a no-brainer that she was the one, right? It was a no-brainer that her offers were literally going to take our dream clients to their ultimate transformation. Okay. Solve their problems, really get them what they desired. There was no guessing that she was the exact coach, right, with her offers for her dream client. So her content solved real problems. It created urgency and it established authority in her space. Your content needs these three things. Okay. Obviously, content goes a lot deeper, but these are the three main things. Take away here what you want to do with it. So nothing's luck. This client's success, not luck. My luck. I mean, I definitely don't have luck. I say that all the time. My business, not luck. My other clients, not luck. Nothing is luck in business. And it definitely wasn't trying harder. It wasn't about adding more to her plate. It's about plugging into a proven money model that takes you from messy foundations to momentum to massive scalability. That's exactly why I created my Savage Money model. This is frameworked out for 5 areas of mastering your business foundations. Okay. Now, I used to have my scale method, which are the business foundations. This has not changed. My Savage Money model is this accelerated. Okay. It's even harder. It's even deeper. It's the same 5 core foundations that you have to master, but this is in the accelerated form for you to be able to hit the $10,000 months 10 times quicker. Okay. So basically it's not different. It has just evolved over time. So real quick, and then we're going to come in with another video. I know this was a lot right here. So I'm going to let you look at this and then we'll come in with the next video. My Savage Money model real quick before I show you the outline. I designed this to give you the exact foundations like to $10,000 months, like I was saying. This is the way that I hit my first $10,000 month recurring cash in only 4 months of starting this business. Okay. And then literal months later, scaling to $28,000 months. This is recurring cash income. I am on my number 16 as of this month in a row of $28,000 plus cash months recurring and stacking. Okay. December 2024, I hit my first $30,000 month. I have not dipped below $30,000 month since then, but May 2024 was my first $28,000 month. So just kind of a little timeline for you on how quick this shit can happen. It's proven, it works, but it's not a blueprint. Every business is different. Every client's path looks different. Your model will be customized for you, for your brand, for your vision, for your offers, for your audience, for your capacity, for your lifestyle. Savage Money model is what I work with my private clients on and my high-level mentorship. Okay. Like I said, in previous programs, I've taught my scale method. The foundations in the two are the same. But like I said, this model that I'm now working with all of my clients on, and I've got a new program called She Who's Savage, where I'm taking you completely through this. There's going to be more details on the last video that I'm going to take you through, right? Because this is a program you're definitely going to want to be in. It's only open to 15 women. It's very intense support. Okay. So the foundations that I'm about to show you with my Savage Money model is what we're working hands on with there in there. Okay. But I've designed this for acceleration and 10 times quicker results. Now, before we get into the next video, I want to show you when it comes to mastering your business foundations, why I have these numbered. You have to master these in order, and that's what we're going to get into the next video. But real quick, business clarity. You can't scale a business out of chaos. You have to have clarity. Okay. Offer suite, dream client, capacity, lifestyle, business structure. We then go into savage positioning. Why you? Why are you the one that does it like you do it? Why are you the one out of thousands of others, whatever you do in your business? Why should somebody pick not pick you? I hate that word. Why should somebody buy your offer? Why should they hire you? Why should they buy your t-shirts? Why should, they buy your beauty subscription box? It has to do with your positioning. This is where we build brand. This is where we position you as the number one expert. So your dream clients, you're the obvious no-brainer for them. Okay. Without savage positioning, you cannot go into marketing. This is content mastery. This is market mastery. This is email mastery. This is your overall marketing mastery, especially with content and social media. But if you don't know how to position yourself and people don't know who the fuck you are, your content's going to fall flat every single time. We then get into savage launch codes. Okay. Where you are taking your signature offers, your core offers, the ones that you have built for scalability for $10,000 months, right? And we are launching those. So they go through rinse and repeat during that first launch. And what I mean by that is we launch it once with a good 4 to 6 week launch that brings in minimum 5 figures. Majority of my clients are seeing multi 5 figures, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 launches on their launches, right? That happens one time. You get that big one lump sum of money that also builds up your recurring income. This is where we really pull in that $10,000 a month of recurring income. Okay. And then you only have to launch it once. It's not a continuous live launching. It's not oh my gosh, every time I launch an offer, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. No, this very first launch is the one that gets you really effing known, your offer out there. Okay. And then savage ops, savage operations. This comes to sales, right? DM conversions, upsells, downsells, sales pages. Lost my train of thought. Sales pages, payment processors, automations, all the things that keep your business running and making you money without leaking profit, but without you having to be on 24/7. Okay. So that was the layout of this. Now you know what you're coming into. At this point, if you're still here, I'm glad you are. Might have lost a couple people at the beginning, but this is real business. And if you feel like this is a lot, then business probably isn't for you. Okay. At the end of the day, business is work. It's fun, but it's work. So I invite you into the next video and I will see you over there. Maybe. How do I turn this thing off?